It's hard to imagine really how big a disaster this was. You see floods on the television and it looks just like any flood anywhere else in the world. But when 10 years of rain falls over a week, the amount of water that fell on Pakistan was phenomenal. Something like 20 million people were affected and 14 million of them needed humanitarian assistance. And that has to be the biggest humanitarian disaster that we've ever seen anywhere. The number of people affected is more than the combined total of all the people in the Haiti earthquake, the Pakistan earthquake of 2005 and the tsunami all wrapped together. The British government has been one of the leading donors from the very beginning of this crisis. From the outset, our immediate priority was to support the rescue and survival of the people affected by the floods. Millions of people were displaced from their homes and needed to be looked after in emergency camps. At that phase, the priorities for survival assistance were food, water, shelter and medical support. And we provided all of those at scale across the country through the United Nations agencies and by providing grants to international NGOs. Another area of major priority for the UK government is assisting in the recovery of education. Some 10,000 schools were partially or completely destroyed by the floods. That's a phenomenal number of schools and a number of children affected. So what we're doing is we're providing grants through NGOs to help in the rehabilitation of those schools and providing temporary learning facilities where the schools have been completely destroyed. The intention is that we will be able to put 200,000 children back into primary education in the coming months. So as we approach 6 months on into the crisis, we're more or less at the end of what you might see as the emergency relief phase. The waters have receded over most of the area and the large majority of people have returned home. There are some parts of Sindh province which are still flooded and are likely to be flooded for some time, but the large majority of people now have returned home. They're going to need humanitarian assistance for many months. Their homes, their communities, their farms, their infrastructure has all been washed away. So the priority in the next 6 months is going to be to help people rebuild their lives, rebuild their homes, get agriculture going again, mainly rural areas. And it will be many months before we can say life is even beginning to return to normal for the massive number of people.